I think it's going to be a feeling out process. Look, I don't think we're going to, don't expect Gotti Ward from opening bell until somebody gets, till the final bell. I don't think we'll see that. I think Conor's going to be the aggressive early, or the aggressor early. I think Floyd is going to feel him out, see what Conor has to offer. Now, I believe, now he's talking about he's going to outbox Floyd. You and I both know that's not going to happen. He only has one way to win this fight. He only has one punch. He has the straight left or the overhand left. Now, he can try for that one-hitter quitter, that overhand left, but you know what? When you throw that punch, Skip, you leave yourself susceptible for, ooh, bap, 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 bap. Like, what happened? And that's what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. And this fight is not going the distance. I want another case of do. Floyd's going to get him out of there because he can't outbox Floyd. And in order for to throw those bombs that he needs to throw to get Floyd out of there, he's going to leave himself vulnerable. Skip, in the MMA, the reason why they go down so easy is because you have to guard against so many things. You got to watch against a knee strike, leg kick, elbow. And so while you're trying to tense yourself and worried about a leg strike, somebody clips you, you're on the ground. Floyd, all he worry about is one thing, the left hand. That's all Conor got. You keep talking about he has thunder in one hand and lightning in the other. No, he doesn't. He's a one-handed fighter. And a one-handed fighter is not going to beat Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather is going to make it look really, really easy. And at the end of the day, I don't want to hear no excuses from you. I don't want to hear, well, he's a novice and he never boxed before. Take this butt cutting back to Ireland and enjoy it.
And enjoy it. So you keep creeping out onto that limb. Am I hearing a KO, not just a tactical knockout? He's going to knock this man out. Floyd will knock out Conor McGregor.
The reason why we have a referee in the match, Skip, is because we don't want Conor to take too much punishment.
Okay.
The fight, I don't care how it stops. Maybe a black cat runs in the ring and they stop the fight. But Conor McGregor will get stopped. This is not going to the judges. The judges will play no role in this fight. Conor McGregor is going home with an L, tail between his legs, and Floyd Mayweather will be 50-0 and take that pretty nice. You saw that belt? Got like 3,000 diamonds and 600 rubies and emeralds. It won't be leaving Vegas.
Well, wait, the IRS is going to take it, right?
Don't worry about that. No. Hold on. Didn't I tell you? Now, we're going to have Leonard Ellaby on the show later.
We are.
He told me that we're going to come to the ring with about $30 million in cash.
In cash?
Cash!
So you can hand it to the IRS.
$7 million short of what they need,
Hand
right?
it to them.
Well, wait a second. If Floyd's going to make 100 and what? Let's see, 250 million, right?
Yeah.
250 million.
Yeah.
So he owes 22.
Yeah.
So if I'm doing the math, the IRS is going to say we need half of 250 right now plus 22.
No, you're not getting.
So you need what? 150 million. You need to just hand it right to the IRS at ringside, right?
Look here. I'm going to take a picture of the money.
Yeah.
And say, look, this is what y'all want, but you're not going to get it until we send it to you. Now, y'all need to leave me and Floyd alone while we turn up. Now, we got you $30 million in cash. We'll send the later to you at a later date and time. Now, leave me and Floyd alone. Conor, you got to shake him to wake him up. Conor.
Leave her computer alone. Leave her computer alone.
Floyd can buy me a new computer after all of it, too. It's broken.
We're going to bring you the big IBM. We're going to buy you Henry, whatever his name is, that big one. But you're going to be sad, Skip Bayless.
Okay. My turn. You want to know the truth? I have no real idea how this fight will unfold because Conor McGregor is unorthodox, he's unconventional, and he is wildly unpredictable when he fights. And I think that's exactly what we will see or not see in this fight. I'm just going to guess here. I think that conventional wisdom you can throw right out the window, throw it out into the rain here in Vegas, because your conventional wisdom is, oh, Conor's only got one chance. He's going to have to come out and flail at him and attack him and try to maul him and bully him because he's bigger and stronger and longer. And he's got more punching power than Floyd ever dreamed of having, so he's going to have to throw it all out there in rounds 1 and 2, because what did Conor say? If we go down to 8-ounce gloves, I'll end it in, what did he say, 2 rounds? He said originally it'll end inside 4 rounds. And guess what? Once again, he has won the psychological battle with Floyd Mayweather Jr. He is just leading him right down the path to destruction, because here's what I think will happen. Obviously, Conor knows he cannot outbox Floyd. Nobody's ever been able to
That's what he
outbox
said.
Floyd.
That's what he said.
He's just stringing him along. This is all psychological warfare.
So you
But
don't...
you know what he can do? He's already proven to me he can outfox Floyd Mayweather. Floyd's fallen into the trap of 10-ounce gloves down to 8-ounce gloves. He's fallen for all the taunts, some of them racist taunts, because all Conor's trying to do is get under his skin and inside his head, and then finally right down into his soul. And that's what he will try to do in the first 5 or 6 rounds of this fight. I think he will try to pull a Floyd on Floyd. You know what I think he'll do? I think he'll come out and not engage. I think there's going to be a whole lot of taunting. There's going to be a whole lot of trash talking. I think he will go for the psychological throat right away. He'll probably be going after Floyd about, why don't you try to beat me up like you beat up all those women? That's what I think he's going to reach for a bit, go as low as he can go to try to get deep inside Floyd's head.
And put his hand behind his back too, huh?
He'll do all that.
Okay.
There'll be a lot of dancing. There'll be a lot of retreating. He will try to mock Floyd's style for 5 or 6 rounds while throwing a lot of weird stances at him. Wait a second. You're in a wrestling stance. You're in a Greco-Roman stance. You're in a Taekwondo stance. You're in a karate stance. What are you doing?
Can't throw punches from those stances.
Okay, I don't think there are going to be many punches thrown for about 6 rounds of this fight. This is just my gut hunch feeling. And I believe by round 6 or 7, Floyd will be in his corner saying, what's this crazy bleepity bleep doing? You know, what's he doing? He's out of his mind. Is he going to fight me or not? Conor needs the crowd to turn on the fight. Conor needs the crowd to start booing the lack of action in the ring, because who is the pressure on here? It's on Floyd Mayweather Jr. to put on a show, because as Floyd said yesterday, once again, he used the word, this will be a cakewalk, right?
Cake.
So
Cake.
if not much is happening, if it's just a few little flurries through 5 or 6, 7 rounds, you don't think the crowd's going to start getting a little anxious? You're going to start to hear boos, and maybe, just maybe, Floyd is going to start to get a little frustrated, because he knows, because you know, it would be shameful if this fight went 12 rounds. He would be humiliated, embarrassed if it went to the judges. You let that man stand. He's some MMA fighter. He's never had a single professional boxing match in his life. So the pressure will mount for Floyd to, guess what, come out of his textbook shoulder roll comfort zone. Conor needs him to suddenly become the aggressor, because he needs to end the fight. He needs to press the action. Floyd has never had to press the action in any of his 49 fights. Am I right about that? That's just not his style. Conor needs Floyd to try to open up on him. And if in rounds 8, 9, and 10, Floyd tries to open up, I believe he will be open to taking that one shot. All Conor McGregor needs is one shot. It will probably be with the left hand, but it also could be with the right hand. All he needs to do is sting Floyd one time to hurt him. Little blood in the water with a little blood on the lip, or a little blood under the eye. Just a little blood in the water.
And
all of a sudden, what's that?
You ever seen Floyd bleed?
I've seen him bleed a couple times.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Do you have blood
Yeah,
in him?
Shane-
I ain't never seen none of his spill, so I don't know what's inside of it.
Shane got him to bleed a little bit. Shane rocked him a couple times.
Hit him with his best, the hardest he ever been hit.
Yeah.
Did Floyd go down?
Nope. He's got a pretty good chin. But the point is, Conor McGregor, people miss the point on this, is a counter puncher. He needs Floyd to push the action. He needs Floyd to attempt to put him away, because everybody thinks, including Shannon Sharpe, that he will be put away. You said by 9 rounds.
Yep.
So somewhere in the 9, 10 round range, all of a sudden, Floyd comes out of his comfort zone and he is exposed for the first time in his career. Now what happens? All of a sudden, Conor McGregor is much younger, much bigger, much stronger, and I believe, this is just me, I believe Conor McGregor is in much better shape at this point than Floyd is. Floyd is 40 and a half years old. He did not want this fight because he was literally retired.
Yeah.
And he has made remarks about, I hate training. I didn't want to go through this. I don't think he's in near the shape that he was when he was 30 or 25 or certainly 22, which is the last time he knocked anybody out, when he was 22 years of age.
Of course not, Skip. He's 40. He's not 30. He's not 22.
So guess what? If you get him in rounds 9, 10, 11, and he's starting to feel the physicality of Conor McGregor, and it's starting to become a quote-unquote war at that point. I'm going to say big advantage Conor McGregor on just sheer physicality. Because, listen, I think Conor, I believe he is going to go up in weight after the weigh-in. He'll make 154. Floyd is a natural 147. You know it, and I know it. In fact, I think he's a natural 140-ish. That's what he is.
Skip, the only way... Fighters realize this. The only way you can really make money is if you move up in weight. Could Floyd fought his entire career at probably 140? Absolutely. But there's no money there. He realized the money is at 147, 154, and as you move up in weight, the payday moves up. And that's what Floyd understood. But Skip, you mentioned something about all the unconventional stances and the unorthodox of Conor McGregor. You failed to mention one unskilled. Floyd is...
I completely disagree with that. You're way under it. He is highly skilled with his hands.
Not in boxing.
That is his strength.
No, it's not.
He is a boxer by trade. I don't care what you say. If you watch his MMA fights, his UFC fights, he is at his best on his feet, not kicking, striking.
Skip, you comparing an MMA fighter to a 5-division generational fighter. That's what you're comparing him to.
Who is 40 and a half years of age.
And gonna cut butt like he's 22 and a half.
What did Sugar Ray Leonard tell us yesterday on Undisputed?
Yeah.
You know, there's always that moment when you come out and you're past 40, and all of a sudden, you're like, wait a second. I lost it. I just don't have it. I think Pacquiao lost it in the last fight. We saw Pacquiao attempt to fight.
Pacquiao lost it long time ago.
No, he didn't.
Maybe it was he left it in one of those syringes in the Philippines.
Ooh. Well, that's a low blow.
I'm just
Can
saying.
you prove that?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. A guy went from 106 and knocking people out at 154, and then all of a sudden they started doing that. That's not the
The only syringe I know of is that he wanted to take a cortisone shot, a painkilling shot before the Mayweather fight, and Nevada said no. And so he fought with a torn rotator cuff.
Yeah.
And that was a quote-unquote fight?
And a torn butt, too. But anyway, hold on. How do you know Floyd didn't sit and lay the trap for Conor McGregor by saying, okay, I want to fight at 154 in 10-ounce gloves, and knowing Conor McGregor would fall prey, the lighter gloves. I believe Floyd believes he can touch him. I believe Floyd believes he can get him out of there. Ooh, lighter gloves, out of there. It won't go past 9.
Yet Shannon Sharpe sat there day after day after day in our LA studio on Undisputed and said, no 8-ounce gloves. We don't want 8-ounce gloves. Am I not right about that?
I said that, but I was hoping you you scared. Ain't gonna give me an extra case of
It was
Duke.
a psychological trap. I don't think it was. I think you were flat out, literally scared.
It's not going past 9. You believe that?
You know what? I could believe that, but it's going to be the other way around from what you're thinking.
Skip, look, I don't really know how to explain it to you. It's like, okay, Floyd is like way up here. Okay, let me unbutton my jacket, Joe. You don't want to.
You don't want to.
Floyd is way up here. Okay, this is Floyd, boxing skill. This is Conor, way down here. You know how he said, little head, little legs. It's Floyd, way up here. And Conor is way down here. That's where they are at skill level, Skip. Granted, Floyd is 40. He's not the same fighter, but he's a better fighter than Conor McGregor will ever be with just these. And that's what you fail to realize. And what you're gonna see on display on Saturday night is gonna make you like, you're gonna like, Conor, I am so sorry that I wanted to see you get your butt kicked like this, but he will get taken to school. It will not be pretty. I'm telling you, Skip, he got these 8-ounce gloves. I've never seen Floyd this confident. There was a heckler in the audience when he was holding up that belt, that magical belt that one guy's gonna get. Well, I know who's gonna get it. It will not leave Vegas unless it goes on a tour with Floyd. And the guy's like, Floyd, don't get used to holding that belt. He said, what's your name, my man? He said, Alex. He said, I want you to have that same confidence when I wipe the floor with your boy. Now, Floyd never, all the Vegas say, Floyd never bets on himself. Floyd Mayweather is going to the window. He gonna slide about 10 of those big old bundles. Hondas. Gonna slide about 10 of them in the ring.
I think a whole lot more. They're saying he's going to bet $5 million to win $1 million. Right?
He told Conor McGregor, if you so confident in your ability, bet your check.
Have you ever heard the expression whistling through the graveyard? 'Cause
No.
that's what he's doing right
No.
now. And I hope he believes everything that you believe, because you are sadly underestimating the will and the skill of this opponent. This is a bad man. This is a high IQ combat fighter
He ain't bad
who is
with
the
the
better
bloods.
trash talker. He has already gotten inside Floyd's head, and he will continue to get deeper and deeper into Floyd's gut.